Hey yo, what is up guys? Your boy is back. Sorry, just not with yet another video. And today we are talking about Backlash 2002. And the main event features Hulk Hogan versus Triple H. Pretty big main event for the time. And yeah, it continues kind of the iffy pay-per-views from WWE the early 2002 period. So let's get into it. So the show opens with Billy Kidman versus Tajiri. Billy Kidman, your cruiserweight champion, and Tajiri comes out to the ring with Tori Wilson, who's in that kimono. This was a pretty fun opener. Obviously, the cruiserweights, a ton of athleticism here. Tajiri, a ton of really epic kicks. Billy Kidman hit a wicked drop kick in this match. I thought that was pretty cool. And then Tajiri hits a pretty massive kick, but that only got a 2 count. But then he just sprays him with the miss to get the W. Tajiri is your new cruiserweight champion. So, yeah, this was a pretty all right match. Next up was Bradshaw versus Scott Hall, and this was a match. It's kind of strange. I wonder if JBL looked back on this, this is where I got my start for my big title run in 2004. But yeah, a lot of just punches thrown. Bradshaw, obviously a Smash Mouth wrestler. Scott Hall, not the great Razor Ramon of the 90s. And yeah, clearly going through some stuff at the time. X-Pac gets involved in this match and helps Scott Hall pick up the victory. And yeah, just not really anything big, just a big slugfest. And yeah, Ron Simmons makes an appearance. I always call him, or they call him Farouk, but I always call him Ron Simmons. Yeah, so he makes a pretty big appearance here. But yeah, match. Next up, Trish Stratus versus Jazz. And this was a pretty entertaining match for the Women's Championship. The women were just throwing mad strikes in this match. A lot of big punches from each girl. Trish Stratus hit this really cool, she always would do this move where she puts her ankles on the girl's face while she's on the top rope and then flips her off. I always thought that was cool. Jazz, she was very jacked at the time. And Jazz ends up winning this match with an STF, a step ever told, to which Trish Stratus taps out to. And yeah, moving on to a match I was really looking forward to talking about here. I thought this was a very entertaining match. So this is actually Brock Lesnar versus Jeff Hardy. And yeah, so this is Brock Lesnar's debut pay-per-view match. Maybe is it his debut match or is this his debut pay-per-view match? Anyways, this is for sure his first pay-per-view match against Jeff Hardy here. Jeff Hardy has a wicked entrance here. He looks sick coming out to the ring for this. This was a great entrance from Jeff Hardy. Lesnar just kind of gets in the ring, throws Jeff Hardy around. Jeff Hardy tries to get the advantage, and Lesnar just tosses him out of the ring like one of your kids. Throughout the match, obviously, Brock Lesnar just pretty much manhandles Jeff Hardy. Tons of suplexes. Until Jeff Hardy gets a little bit of flurry of offense. You know how it is. Twist of fate, swanton, close kick out. Brock ends up hitting Jeff Hardy with an F5, and then Paul Heyman's like, no, give him more. So then Jeff Hardy eats 3 more power bombs. The ref calls it KO win for Brock Lesnar. And honestly, I wanted to add this. You can really see why Jeff Hardy was just crazy popular. I always bring it up, but man, this dude had such a killer look, especially at the time. It just fit so well with the early 2000s. And you just knew, eventually one day, this guy's going to get that tap on the shoulder and he's going to rise to the main event ranks. Brock Lesnar looks like he does. Obviously going to get that step a little bit before him, but doesn't matter. The proof is always in the pudding. Next up, a match I really enjoyed was Kurt Angle versus Edge. And yeah, the whole kind of first half of this match was Edge would hit a ton of offense on Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle would power out with a suplex. But Edge would always kind of have the upper hand on Kurt Angle throughout just a mass majority of this match. I actually really liked this match. It was a really good derby. So at one point here, Kurt Angle was hitting his suplexes. Edge turns it around, hits a suplex on Kurt Angle, backdrops him right on his head, sends him right to the outside of the ring, does a wicked crossbody, gets back in the ring. There was a close 2 count. Kurt Angle hits an angle slam. There's another close 2 count there. Edge, he does that sick it's like a face buster move where he like picks him up, slams him down on his face. That looks really, really sick. And then he's going for the execution. Kurt Angle manages to fight out of that and hits the angle slam. He hits like 2 angle slams. Yeah, I mentioned the angle slam earlier. But yeah, he hits an angle slam on Edge and picks up the victory. There was actually a roll-up in this match to where I'm like, oh man, a roll-up? And I thought that was it just because of how many people lose to freaking roll-ups. Yeah, I really, really like this match. This was a really, really good match. Probably one of the matches I'd probably recommend watching from the show. It's this and the next match, or what I would say are the 2 must-watch matches of the show. And yeah, this is a ton of athleticism, just ton of grit from both guys. I really, really like this match. This is a very good match. Next up, we got Eddie Guerrero versus Rob Van Dam, and this was kind of the battle of the time of the 5-star frog splash. Who did it first? You know how it is. Really good match from both guys. RVD he got a lot of offense in early, but then towards like just the middle of the match, Eddie just after Rob Van Dam hits the moonsault on the outside to Eddie Guerrero, it was just pure Eddie Guerrero. He had him in submission holds, hit a few moves on him. They hit a wicked sunset flip from the top rope, and yeah, it was just kind of mostly Eddie Guerrero just dominating the match all the way till he ends up picking up the win by hitting a 5-star frog splash on Rob Van Dam. One of the moves I just loved in this match was just Eddie Guerrero using like the gory stretch, and oh man, he hit this awesome surfboard, and like they're making out like, oh man, but Rob Van Dam, at least he has wicked athleticism, because if that was me in that move, man, I'd be like, get this off of me. Get this off of me. yeah, it looked mad brutal. But yeah, so the 2 matches I'd highly recommend from this show are definitely the Edge and Kurt Angle match and this match here. These were very, very good matches. So next up, we're kind of now into the heavy hitters of the show, and these matches were kind of the draw of the show at the time. And Steve Austin versus Undertaker, man, this is it's strange. Like, I had fun watching the first half of the match. So I think this is like almost a 30-minute match. This is a long match. So it's very, very, this is a Texas Derby right here. Steve Austin and Undertaker, they're kind of feeling each other out in the beginning. Austin makes it like he's going to go for a tie-up with Undertaker. Then he like fakes his hand and flips him the bird. And Undertaker's like, oh, I can't believe he got me with that. So yeah, this is just a very, very grimy, very, like I said, the Texas-style match. This is like old-school Texas territory match. Punches, headlocks, throw each other off the turnbuckles, come back with a clothesline. That's the story of this match, and that's mostly the moves. I'm not even joking. Tons of punches and kicks. They brawl to the outside. They fall to the outside. They kind of brawl around a bit. Ric Flair is your special guest referee in this, and he's just letting a lot of leeway happen in this. I can't blame him. Scott Hall and X-Pac make an appearance. X-Pac wearing Kane's mask. Weird. Undertaker gets back in the ring. He just kind of holds Steve Austin down with like a forearm for a little bit, and things sort of pick up towards the end when Ric Flair gets taken out, and then Undertaker goes for a chair, hits the steel chair on Steve Austin. Austin kicks out of the steel chair. Austin then manages to take advantage, and then when the Undertaker was going back for the chair, Ric Flair was going to throw it out. Austin hits a Stone Cold Stunner on him, and then ultimately Ric Flair takes another bump, and then Undertaker takes advantage, smokes him in the face with the chair, picks up the win. Steve Austin manages to get his foot on the ropes, but Ric Flair counts the pinfall anyways. A blown call by our boy Ric Flair. Ric Flair sees it after. He's like, shit. So, yeah. Pretty okay match. It's not the greatest of Undertaker and Steve Austin matches, but hey, it was actually a pretty good match. So, yeah, it was pretty good. It's just not anything blow away. If that makes any sense. Next up, Billy&Chuck versus Al Snow and Maven. Student and teacher versus best bros for life. Decent match. I was surprised by Al Snow's athleticism, him doing that flip into the ring over, was it Chuck? Yeah, I think so. Billy&Chuck, they managed to pick up yet another video after kicking, I believe it's Al Snow in the face. And yeah, then they just pull off into the sunset. Buffer match before the main event. Main event time. Let's talk about it. Triple H versus Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan made his huge return to WWE at No Way Out 2002. Stellar match with The Rock. Here he is pulling in all that momentum into a world title match. Is he going to do it after 9 years being gone from the company, late 40s? And yeah, it had this wicked moment during Triple H's entrance where Hulk Hogan is eyeing him up while he's getting into the ring. It like Eye of the Tiger type shit. It looked really, really cool. And the match starts. Hulk Hogan throws Triple H across the ring, flexes the biceps, flexes the pecs. People were going wild for this. And yeah, this was all right. It's a pretty good match. It wasn't anything like, it was, yeah, it was. It's probably the best way to put it. It was just a match. Triple H, after Hogan kind of hits his initial moves, Triple H just dominates most of the match, works over Hulk Hogan's leg, hits him with some chop blocks. The fans were booing this. They were big Hulk Hogan fans. Hulk Hogan goes to the outside. Once again, Triple H still working over his knee. And yeah, that was kind of the story of the match. Triple H even had to like grabbed his neck and started choking him at one point. There was that. Chris Jericho comes out. Chris Jericho cut a huge promo at the beginning of the show where he was pissed off about not being on the show. And now we have Chris Jericho back here and coming out to the main event after losing to Triple H at WrestleMania, trying to cost Triple H the match. He ends up getting taken care of by Triple H, but then after hitting a pedigree on Hulk Hogan manages to get out of that, kick out, and then no, he doesn't get kicked out of it. Undertaker comes running down to the ring, and then he starts fighting with Triple H. Triple H manages. What is it? I think, he hits Triple H with the chair. Then he grabs Hulk Hogan to put him on because Undertaker versus Steve Austin was a number one contenders match for the World Heavyweight title. And then Hulk Hogan's like, no, I ain't doing this. And then Hulk Hogan big boots Undertaker, slaps him out of the ring. Then he goes up and he hits that big leg drop on Triple H, absolutely destroying that freaking neck, breaking his neck in two, I'm sure. And Hulk Hogan is once again your WWE undisputed champion after 9 years. The crowd went ape for this. It was pretty epic. Triple H stayed. His face is all bloody after getting hit with the chair, shaking Hogan's hand. And yeah. So my thoughts on this show. It was a pretty good show. I was entertained by it. Not the greatest of wrestling matches on it. It was pretty good. Not the best. I like the Angle and Edge match and the Guerrero and RVD match the most. Nothing was really like terrible. So yeah, overall, pretty decent show here. I'm looking forward to see where Hogan's title reign goes in the future. So as always, guys, star ratings are in the description below. I will be carrying on my 2002 reviews with the next show. So if you guys know which one happens next, then you know where we're going. Anyways, peace out, guys.